The world has always known men who bowed, men who sold their voice, their people, their dignity, all for comfort. But this is not a speech about them. This is about a man who didn't kneel, a man who rose from the dust of a land wounded by corruption and betrayal and declared war on silence. This is Ibrahim Traoré. He didn't kneel to fear. He didn't kneel to foreign powers. He didn't kneel to pressure or politics. And through his resistance, he gave birth to a message that echoes beyond borders, beyond flags, beyond bullets. His message is this: you will not own me. You will not silence me. I am not your puppet. I was born free, and I will die free. When you hear that, it's more than words. It's fire. It's legacy. It's a signal to every soul asleep in submission to rise. This speech is not about one man's story. It's about the message that stands taller than any statue, louder than any headline. The world tried to make him kneel, but he stood. And now, the world listens. Let's walk through his message, one truth at a time. Oppression begins where identity ends. When a man forgets who he is, he bows. When a people forget their history, they obey their chains. Traoré's first message is not political. It is personal. He looked in the mirror of history and said, I know who I am. I am Burkina. I am African. I am not for sale. You cannot be bought if you've already been forged in struggle. You cannot be intimidated if your soul has tasted fire. The world wants you numb. It wants you distracted. It wants you chasing status and forgetting your spirit. But the ones who rise, like Ibrahim, are the ones who remember. Remember the soil they stand on. Remember the blood that built their nation. Remember the grandfathers who died with dignity because they refused to kneel. This is the message: if you do not define who you are, the world will do it for you. And when it does, it will call you weak. It will call you powerless. It will call you less than what you are, but not him. He knew who he was, and because of that, he could stand. So you must ask yourself, do I know who I am? Or have I already kneeled? Power maintains itself through silence. They don't fear your anger. They fear your words. They don't fear your weapons. They fear your truth. Ibrahim Traoré understood this deeply. He spoke when it was dangerous. He stood when it was unpopular. He opened his mouth when others chose to turn their heads. There is a moment in every life where you must decide, will I live as an echo, or will I become a voice? The world is full of cowards who know the truth, but speak nothing. They sit at tables of power with sealed lips, while the people starve, while children cry, while the future bleeds. Traoré refused that life. He spoke because silence was betrayal. Not betrayal of a party or a seat, but betrayal of his own soul. And when you betray your soul, you lose the right to lead. Understand this: your voice is a weapon. Your truth is a revolution. And every time you speak it, you weaken the empire of lies. So rise and speak, even if your voice shakes, even if they threaten you, even if they isolate you. Because if your silence feeds corruption, then your voice must starve it. He didn't kneel because he spoke first. He declared, we will no longer be ruled by the puppets of external powers. We are not your colonies. We are not your chessboard. We are people with fire in our veins. So ask yourself, what truth am I afraid to speak? And then speak it anyway. When Ibrahim Traoré rose, he did not rise with a crowd behind him. He didn't rise with applause. He rose with conviction. And sometimes, that's all you have. There will be moments in your life where standing will cost you. You will lose friends. You will lose comfort. You will lose the illusion of safety. But understand this: comfort is where movements die. Silence is where nations rot. And fear is where souls go to sleep. Traoré stood. Not because it was easy, but because it was right. When he said, I will not kneel, he was also saying, even if I must walk alone, I will not crawl with the masses. This is a message not just for politicians or generals. It's for you. For the teacher who sees injustice in their school. For the worker being exploited. For the youth with a voice burning in their chest, standing alone is not weakness. It is strength on full display. Because when you stand, you show others how. And one by one, the silent find their courage. The weary find their strength. The nation finds its voice. History has never been changed by the comfortable. It has been rewritten by the brave. So ask yourself, do I have the courage to be the first to rise, even if I'm the only one? Because one day, they'll tell the story. And the question will not be whether you agreed. It will be whether you stood. When Ibrahim Traoré stepped forward, he was young. But make no mistake, he was ready. And he made the world face a hard truth: age does not equal leadership. Courage does. The systems of power want you to believe you must wait. Wait to be older. Wait for permission. Wait for approval. But waiting is how revolutions die before they begin. Traoré's message was not just a battle cry. It was a challenge, especially to the youth of Africa and beyond. You are not the next generation. You are the NO generation. This world does not need more trained cowards. It needs wild courage. It needs raw honesty. It needs youth who are unafraid to burn the old maps and draw new ones. To the youth listening now, this is your time. Stop waiting for someone to hand you a seat. Take your place. Stand in your fire. Build the nation that your elders failed to defend, because the older generation, many of them have already kneeled. Kneel to greed. Kneel to corruption. Kneel to foreign hands. But you still have your spine. You still have your voice. You still have your fire. So use it. Not tomorrow. Now. Because the world you want your children to live in, it depends on the choices you make today. Ibrahim Traoré didn't just speak about change, he demanded it. And he didn't ask for pity or permission. He demanded dignity. He looked at a continent rich in resources, rich in spirit, rich in history, and asked it, why are we still kneeling? Africa has bled for centuries, under slavery, under colonization, under economic manipulation. And yet, the world still expects it to beg for crumbs. Traoré said, he rejected foreign control not out of hatred, but out of love. Love for sovereignty, for truth, for people. His vision is not of an Africa dependent, but an Africa determined, not begging at the table, but building its own throne, not defined by wounds, but by warriors. He teaches us this: we cannot build freedom on borrowed blueprints. We must return to our values, return to our communities, return to our strength. Africa must no longer be a land of potential. It must become a land of power. This is not just about borders, it's about identity. And until Africa stands with one voice, it will remain divided, conquered by confusion. But if it listens to leaders like Traoré, bold, unbought, unbroken, then it will rise like never before. So let the message be clear: we will not kneel. We will not beg. We will not break. We will build. In the end, this speech is not about a man. It's about a mirror. Because Ibrahim Traoré is not just a leader. He is a reflection of who you could be if you stopped bowing, if you stopped waiting, if you stopped silencing your fire. He didn't kneel. Not because he was invincible, but because he was convicted. Not because he had an army, but because he had a mission. So now the question is not about him. It is about you. Will you kneel to comfort, to fear, to the lies they've wrapped in shiny language? Or will you rise? Will you speak? Will you lead? Will you walk with fire, even if it burns? The time is over for weak words and empty hands. This is your moment, not to survive, but to awaken. So rise in your truth. Rise in your honor. Rise in the name of every voice that was silenced, because he didn't kneel, and neither will you. This is the message to the world.